Alrighty, we're checking some outlets on new construction here. I just shut the breaker off to check it out. Here in the country I was born in, our outlets are 120 volts. We use 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps, 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps. In this house, black is live, white is neutral like normal, the way it's supposed to be. Bare or green is the ground. Red and blue are also live colors. However, you may find white live in a switch loop or a 220-240 volt circuit where the appliance does not require a neutral. So we're going to look behind this outlet and see how they did hooking it up. Okay, so we'll unscrew it from the wall here and see how they did. We used this tester to turn it off, so we're going to just look and see how they did hooking this up. Oh, they got the insulation under the screw head here. See how they got the insulation under there? And let's look at the black side, see how they did. They got the insulation under the screw over here too, so I'll bring the camera up close and show you. See how they got the insulation under the screw head here? And we'll flip it back around and show you the white wire, what they did. They got the insulation caught under the screw head right there. And they got the ground okay. And we're going to see what they did put a crimp sleeve on it the way it should be. I'm going to make sure everything is off here. So everything is off. So we'll pull our wires out here. Somebody put a sheetrock screw in that box. That's not good because that can puncture a wire. We have a wire nut here. So let's see how they did in this wire nut. It's not quite even, so we'll take our cutters here. We'll clip this even here. Make sure our wires are even, the insulation's even on the bottom. Okay, it's nice and tight. So I'll get it back into our box the way we want it. And let's see how they did on the white wires here. Oh, look at that. They're not even and they don't have... See how poorly that is done? So we will take our strippers here. Now this is work somebody else did, so, and that one broke. So we'll strip our wires back some. So we'll get our insulation even at the bottom here. Bring our third one in. Bring our fourth one in. Get our insulation even at the bottom here. Get our wires so it goes in here nice and even. I gotta bring this one back a little bit more so it's even. I'll twist them so they're all nice and even here. I'll cut them even with the shortest one here. There we go. Everything's all nice and even. That's what we want. Now we'll put our wire nut on.
All right, Dave. I'm sorry, buddy.
No problem. Did you find it?
I got 3 different sizes.
Good.
That's
Okay. This wiring was very sloppy behind this one.
you pick and choose.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna leave you be for a few minutes.
Okay.
I gotta go home and use the men's room, and I'm gonna try covering this wall quick where I need to do that. This mud's been sitting out for 2 hours now.
Okay. And as you can see how they got the insulation caught under that screw head there. Can you look up there and just see how many amps the breaker is that turns this outlet off?
You got it?
It's off, yes. I just want to make sure, see how many, if it's a 15 or a 20, because there's 14 gauge wire on this circuit, so there should only be a 15 amp breaker on it.
I don't know which goes which up there.
The top one, the very top left.
Oh, it's off?
Yeah.
I can't see without my glasses, Dave. I really can't. I can't tell.
It just says right on the top of the handle.
Yeah, but I can't see. That's the thing. The letter is way too small. I don't know. Can't see it. It's too small. I got brand new glasses yesterday, but I don't want to wear them over here because I don't want to ruin them. I apologize.
Okay. Well, if it's a 20, we'll have to change it to a 15 because they put some 14 wire on the circuit.
Okay. Well, if they did that, I hope they were smart enough to know. I mean, being it's all new pretty much there. Hopefully they did it to where it needs to be.
Because if it's 14, it's too light of a wire to put on a 20 amp circuit.
Right.
There's our white wire.
I understand that kind of stuff, but I just don't know how to hook it all up. I don't get involved with it. I'm not that good at it. And I'm crazy and daredevil, but now it comes to power and electricity. Just let somebody enjoy doing it like I enjoy doing what I do.
What kind of things do you like to do?
Well, siding.
I mean, as a for enjoyment.
I don't do much. I really don't. I work all I can, Dave, while I'm still can do it. That's how I do it.
And your name's what again? Doug, yeah. So I can do your garage tomorrow if you clean things out.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Absolutely. No issue with that. I just want the way I know I want it to be. We're on the same page. I know. I mean, I know you know what you're doing.
So I can put a temporary tail for 220 on that box and temporarily hook it up to the 110 coming in until that can be changed and put into a junction box.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I don't really have much money to spend, so I'm gonna try.
I think you may have pretty much everything that's going to be costly to do it, so you may end up having to spend maybe $10 at the absolute most. You have the double boxes, right?
I believe so.
Do you have more outlets and light switches?
I believe so. I believe I have just about everything we will need.
Oh, okay, so you might not have to spend any money to do it then.
Well, you're gonna need some money for doing it.
Yeah, okay, but you don't have to give it to me right away though. Okay, so now we'll fold this into our wall. I guess we'll keep our ground wires facing up the way it was. So we'll push our wire nuts in here. And we'll keep our ground wire up at the top here and keep our blacks going in. Now we're going to have to shim behind here a little bit. We'll just use like a nut here to shim this out. The bottom of the box is back a little bit, so we're going to put one up here on the top, and we'll push this in, make sure our ground wire stays up away from everything. Now we'll get nice and tight to our wall, so when we put the cover on, it'll be nice and flush. Okay, we'll see full power on this one. Okay, this one is off. And we'll unscrew it from the wall. Might have to put a little more mud around this one.
Well, that's fine. I got touching up to do anyway, like I'm doing now, so anything's going to need it later is fine. I just be trying to get what I can to the major of it right now, so that way, once that's all done, I touch it up and I'm going to my floor.
Yeah.
I've been doing this all winter and I'm tired.
Oh. So let's see what kind of job they did on this one here.
Better make a job. More than I managed. But it's alright. Good people, make good friends out of it.
Oh, they did this one totally wrong. They put the wires around the screw backwards. Totally wrong.
Well, I guess I'm glad I called you.
Yeah, and this one is okay, but I'll fix that up a little bit better. They have the crimp sleeve on the ground wires the way that you're supposed to.
Tired.
What age would you like to retire? I'd like to retire at 55.
I would love to retire next 5 years, but I just don't see it, Dave.
Now at 55, I could retire from my regular job and just do the electrical stuff as a hobby, you know?
Right. I see me dying on a job, probably.
Oh.
I'd lifetime. I don't know if this a breaker or shuts everything down, or if it's just one area.
No, it just shuts off some of them.
Okay. You would think they'd have it set up so you shut down everything you needed.
Because there's
I'm talking about the whole upstairs part here. Instead of shutting off 2 lights or like just the hallway.
Mm-hmm. I'm guessing that's the whole second floor.
This is the 3rd floor.
Or the whole 3rd floor.
Well, I just see there's still lights on, so I knew that it didn't shut them down.
So you always put your wire around the screw, the direction the screw turns. Yeah, that's the way we want them. Do you have a phone charger by any chance?
What kind?
Type C.
Which one's that?
The oval one?
I'm not sure. I have an Apple phone. But I do have chargers. I might have one at my house in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
That will fit what you need though.
It's the newer one.
Yeah, I think I have one. That C or D? Bigger one?
It's a small one, but it can plug in either way, upside down or right side up. It's kind of like ovalish on the corners. I don't need it now, but
right. Well,
here's what we want. Now we'll flip our outlet around back to the way it was. I'm starting with it fully charged, but if it goes down, I'd like to charge it up a little bit before I go to.
Nope, you're fine.
Okay.
I have it. You won't be able to do it.
Okay. Because with the rapid charger, I get it charging back up about 20 minutes, so I have enough charge to do the light.
Okay. All right. Let me see.
I don't need it now, though.
No, I haven't used that anyway. I want to be done 10 minutes ago. But I'm not made it yet. So I'm gonna go right now.
Okay.
You got enough here to be busy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I shall be back.
Okay, there we go. So we're going to have to use some nuts on this to shim this out. Probably one on the top and one on the bottom. I can probably use one nut and two of these on the bottom. We put our ground wire at the top here. So I'm just going to put one nut on the top because the box is a little crooked here.
Power on.
Okay, we'll put it in up here. All right. Get it started so we don't lose our nut. And we'll put a nut and one washer here on the bottom. Put our ground wires up away from everything here. Now it's nice and flush with the wall. And now we'll go to our next one. Okay, we'll unscrew this one from our wall here. It sunk back quite a bit. I'll take some of this plaster off. I want to show you something. If you look closely, see how this ground wire right here is so close to the neutral? You want to keep them separate. You want to make sure they don't touch because There'll be a short, but won't trip the breaker because they're tied in together at the main box, but you want to keep them separate past the main panel. So let's see how they hook this one. So besides having that ground wire close to the neutral, these white wires are around the screw backwards and the ground is around the screw backwards. So that is not up to code. And they didn't even close the loop. See, the loop is open here? See how that loop is open there and it's around the screw backwards? And let's see how they did a pretty poor job getting the wires around the screws here. See how sloppy that is? They didn't close the loop here, and they have copper's not under the screw head all the way around here. Like that. And that screw wasn't even very tight. You got a whole bunch of mud in here. Get it all out of there. So we'll strip our wire with our number 12 hole. Strip our wires a little longer so we get a connection that we want. So we're going to put our ground up, so we'll do our black wires first. And I see a tear in this wire here. See that bare spot there? That is not safe. You can see bare copper right there. So we are going to have to cut right here. We're going to have to strip this off. And we're going to have to cut ourselves a piece of tail wire. And this is some 12-2 Romex. Guess what? It's made here in the country I was born in. That's a nice thing to see. Get our insulation even at the bottom here. We'll get them started here. Okay, we'll get our insulation even at the bottom here. We'll twist it in here so it goes in nice evenly. Hey, I came out not quite perfectly even, but I'm going to give this another little twist here. I'm going to use my cutters to get this even here at the bottom. There we are, we're even on the bottom. And now we'll put our wire nut on, make sure our insulation goes into the bottom of this wire nut here. And I'm going to hold the tail so it stays even inside the wire nut. And make sure it's nice and tight. We'll push it back into our box. There we go. And we could tail our white wires up too, make it both the same. This is called parallel wiring. The other ones I did were called series wiring. You can, both ways is code and legal. And we'll strip our wire here. Now that one came out perfectly even. Make sure our insulation goes up into the bottom of the wire nut there, and I'll hold my tail so it doesn't get uneven inside the wire nut. Push it back into our box. Get our ground wire up here out of the way. Now we're putting our grounds on the top of the outlets here. Okay, we'll start with our black wire. The black wire goes on the brass screw, which is the narrow slot. White goes on the silver screw, which is the wide slot. And the bare or green wire goes on this green screw. So we'll start with our black wire on the brass screw, since we're putting our ground hole up. Close our loop the way we want it closed. Make sure it's tight, and that's the what we want for a connection there. We'll flip it around the other way, and we'll get our white on the silver colored screw here. Okay, our copper is under the screw head all the way around, and our insulation is not caught under the screw head. So we'll go up and down with our black and white like this. We'll get our ground wire up here on our green screw. Close the loop the direction the screw turns. I'll pull it back so that the wire goes under the screw head all the way around like that. And now we can just fold it over this way, and we'll keep it going at the top here so it stays away from our conductors. Push it back into our box. And we'll put a nut on the top so we have enough shim here to shim it out a little bit. Okay, this one came out nice and flush. Now we'll go to our next one. Okay, so let's make sure that this one is off. We'll take our no contact tester. Okay, guess what? This one is live. For some reason, it's saying both black and the white are live. So we'll plug our tester in there and we'll shut the breaker off. Okay, we'll use our multimeter here. You put this on the 200 volts because that's the closest setting for 120. So we have to, and we're going to use the common. See the little symbol up here? That means it's for AC. So we'll put our black in the common and our red where it says voltage. Well, I guess the battery's dead, so it's not going to work. Okay, so we used this here to turn it off so we know it's off. And again, we have wires around the screws backwards here. So I'll put my black around the brass screw. You always put your wire around the screw, the direction the screw turns. Make sure our connections are nice and tight. We had a weak spot in our wire there, so let's strip it back a little bit. Make sure it's nice and tight. Okay, there we go. We'll keep our ground wire up at the top here. Now we have enough plaster down here so we don't have to put a shim in the bottom. But we have to shim it in the top because there's not enough room. There, it turned out nice and flush on the top with our washer, and we're tight against our sheetrock on the bottom.
David?
Yep, how you doing?
You all right, buddy?
Yes, I am. I'm gonna need some more of those nuts.
Which ones?
The ones I was using for shims.
Oh, okay, well, we'll have to, how many do you reckon?
I'm gonna say probably 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, maybe 12, 13, 14, maybe.
All right, well, is that something we can do tomorrow, or?
Well, I have this one apart, so I need to get this one right away.
I just don't know if I have them right at this minute, and, but it don't matter, if you got something apart, don't stress it. Cause nothing gets used up here, nobody comes up here,
Oh, okay.
so, I mean, you wanna take them all apart, and wait, and figure out how many we're gonna need, and just wait till tomorrow after you got them apart, that's not an issue either.
Okay. We have wires around the screws backwards. Nope, these are right, but on this case we have insulation under the screws. Now let's look on the black. Okay, the black side we have wires on the screws backwards. Oh, did you see Brian's birthday party I put on my Facebook?
I don't do Facebook,
Oh,
too much drama for me.
oh,
People act like kids on there.
oh.
I mean, I'm sure there's probably young kids on there, but adults that act like out of control, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah. So they did a lot of sloppy work on these outlets.
What's that, bud?
They did a lot of sloppy work on these outlets.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna let Nick know that whoever did all that work didn't know what they were doing.
Well, they did get the polarity right, but a lot of the wires were around the screws backwards, and I found a bare cut wire I had to cut back and strip and put a pigtail on.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
That's a fire right there.
Yes, it is. And these were the ones that are around the screw backwards.
Nicholas don't need that kind of work.
No. What kind of work does the person do that owns this house?
What's that?
What kind of work does the person do that owns this house?
He works doing some kind of security company or something.
Airport by any chance?
No, he does it's all kinds of, like, I don't know if he sells it or people that have security systems like at the home hooked up.
You see how the insulation was mashed under the screw head right there? That's no good.
He's usually home. He works from home.
Oh.
He's doing music. He's doing a studio thing or something, music.
Oh.
So he plays in a couple of bands.
What kind of music does he play in his band?
Like the kind I like.
Oh, what kind of music do you like?
Johnny Cash, Grateful Dead.
Oh.
They do all kinds. They do a lot of a couple like Grateful Dead.
I like John Cougar, Bruce Springsteen.
I usually have music playing, but I haven't been here long enough in the last 3 hours to hear my music back on.
Oh, the only thing is it will copyright my videos too.
I play Bluetooth on my phone. My speaker's Bluetooth too. Right? AM, FM, Bluetooth.
Oh.
I don't leave home without one working.
Oh. So they have a lot of wires in here, and they have a improper ground connection here. They just wrapped one ground wire around here without putting it in that crimp sleeve. You might be able to see it there. So I'm going to try to take this apart if I can, but if I can't, I can't, and I'm not going to get frustrated if I can't. But oh, that will copyright my video.
You what?
It will copyright my video, then I won't be able to monetize it.
Oh, if I play my Bluetooth?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, we don't want to ruin that. That's for sure.
Okay, we'll get our...
Well, we're probably going to be here much longer anyway. You probably don't have a lot left, do you?
What?
I said we're probably going to be here much longer anyway. You probably don't have a lot left.
Oh, I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more outlets, and I did 5, so I'm about halfway.
Oh, okay.
And they did an improper ground connection here, too. They just twisted a ground wire and didn't get it in the crimp sleeve. So I'm going to try to get it in here again. If I can reuse that crimp sleeve, I'll reuse it. But if I can't, I can't. I'm going to try to.
Might have to have Nick call you. Well, I'll call you, but I might have to have Nick. Have you go through and make sure everything else in the main house is good.
Oh.
Which probably is, but the sounds just upstairs. Them guys didn't even worry themselves on this place beforehand.
Oh.
Don't sound like they're too smart.
Oh.
I don't want anything to happen to his house.
Mm-hmm. Nope, I'm not going to be able to get that in there. So what I have to do is cut it here, and I'll just stick a tail in here.
Have you done any work with Brian lately?
Yes, I wired his house down on Seneca Street, or Shenandoah Street, this late winter, like in January, February.
Yeah, I was down there with you.
Yep, that was the latest big thing I've done.
Oh, okay. Wasn't sure maybe you've been there since.
Nope. Okay, I got them all nice and even here. That one wire that was bare and I had to cut it back, it was just enough where I could make the splice without having to cut the wall open and cut it back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you cut open, you make sure to tell me, because I rather know it's safe than not safe.
Yeah.
I mean, if all these wires are bad, they're not hooked up right, if you found so far, I want that on my shoulder,
Yeah. But I can't guarantee everything is going to be safe after I'm done, because what if they buried a splice in the wall that I can't see,
Right. Well, anything we gotta do to make it right, don't worry, I can fix it.
But I mean, you can't see everything. Like there's stuff that's buried in the wall.
Right.
And you can't see it, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, you would think they would run extra, I mean, it's only common sense. I'm not an electrician, but I do know you always give yourself a little extra in case you gotta do something.
Yeah. I think I cut that with the wrong size wire stripper, so I go back a little bit. Yeah, I did. So I have to go back a little bit here and cut it off up here. This one's 14. Have you ever used your voltage meter here?
No, sir. I just got it here a while back, and I got it so I had a couple people, friends say, oh, I can do your garage for you, so I got everything. Like, stuff like that. I know it's needed, so, and none of them could do it, so I got pissed off and
Oh.
told her, don't bother wasting time of mine anymore.
Oh.
I mean, I'm that person, if I tell you I'm gonna do something, I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna give you a runaround and make you wait, or come up with excuses not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And when people do that kind of shit to me, I get very frustrated.
Mm-hmm. Uneven. Clip them even on the end here. And make sure our wires are even on the end here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to hold the tail so that our wire.
I don't like taking time out of my time to play.
Yeah. Like the people said for me to come over at 2 to fix that light. And I waited there for about half an hour and kept calling their phone, calling it like 20, 30 times. No answer.
Right. See, you're a better man than me, because I have to tell him to find someone else.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we'll keep our ground wire at the top. If you could travel, what countries would you like to go to?
I've always wanted to go to Jamaica.
Oh, what's there you'd like to see?
Everything. That's just for some reason. I've always told myself Jamaica's the place to go.
Oh, I would like to go to Japan.
Japan?
Yes. Germany, China, England, and Saudi Arabia.
I have no use for Japan.
And Japan has
Or China.
almost the same electrical system that we have. That's why I'd like to visit and see what's different.
Oh, see the difference?
Yeah. Same with Saudi Arabia. Theirs is very close to ours too. They're 127 volts.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the outlets are our same plug, but their version of it. So I like to see how they're wired.
Right.
Then with Germany and England, I'd like to see how they do their wiring too. Now they're different over there than we are.
Maybe there's go something. Getting held hostage or something. Taken hostage.
Oh, why would somebody take you hostage if they don't even know you?
Well, that's why. There's.
Because I figured if you just mind your business, go do what you want to do, and don't bother anybody, nobody will bother you.
No, that's our way of doing it. That's our way of saying it, but not everybody thinks that way. You know?
But I wouldn't go snooping around like somebody else's business or look around a military base or anything that would raise suspicion.
No, but it's just a principle. You know, some people take that the wrong way. They don't understand.
It's like if somebody went around a military base taking pictures, then they would get suspicious, wouldn't they?
I guess it just depends on the people, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's minds are different.
Mm-hmm.
We don't all think alike. That's the scary part of people.
Mm.
Our way of thinking might be the wrong way they're thinking, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We don't mean no harm, but they don't know that.
Oh.
Especially nowadays, all the wars and shit going on. It's hard to say who can trust who and what to trust.
Oh, did you check on a charger?
What was that, bud?
A cell phone charger.
I got you one. I got you one.
Oh, good. Is it a rapid charger
I
or?
think it's the right one. Oh, I don't know anything about that shit. I just know it's a charger. You plug your phone in and it charges it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I know, Dave. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Not being smart about it.
Yeah.
I'm not electronically,
Okay, so we'll put our black on.
whatever they call that, equipped or whatever. I don't even like cell phones personally.
Oh, I don't like cell phones.
Not a cell phone person.
Oh.
And mine's been pissing me off today because it's been going off. And
Oh. There's a way you can just turn it off. So if they call you, they just get a
well, I
visit.
keep it on for my wife. And then
Make sure it's nice and tight.
if there was ever something come up with my boys, being a month ago, I lost my only daughter, firstborn and only daughter. It's not. I hate it.
After we get done here, if we look in your house and see what you have, if you have everything for the garage.
We might possibly can.
Okay.
We might possibly can. I don't know. I have to see. I just got dogs in there, and I mean they're not mean. They won't bite. But.
Yeah. Then I can set that breaker box up temporarily, hook it to the 110 coming in. So it'll be working until you can change it to 220 coming in. Then you have more circuits and be able to use everything at the same time.
Yeah, I don't care how it gets hooked up. If we use everything at the same time, but the main thing is I need one shut off for the pump.
Right, I can do that, yeah.
That's the main thing too.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want my lights to where if I cut them off, the pump goes off.
Right, I'm going to put a switch in just for the lights and a switch in for the pump and have the outlets on all the time, except for the outlet that the pump is plugged into. And fold it in like that, and we'll put longer screws in here and shims.
tomorrow. I think.
Alrighty, so that is how to properly rewire and install outlets here in the country I was born in. We use 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps, 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps. Black is live, white is neutral, the bare or the green is the ground. Red and blue are also live colors. Peace. Thanks for watching.